Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you guys may be. I'm here to brief you guys on the testimony that God let me go through so that I may save people from what I've seen. The scariest part about it is the reality that sin is real and runs rampant to where your everyday desires and wants and needs will be taken off the Most High. But see, that's the test that you're in. And that's what you got to realize, that you're being tested every moment of your life. But I'm going to start this testimony off with what happened to me June the 30th, 2017. It was a day like, the sun was out. Everything felt good. I felt good. I had been coming down off of a drug binge, I say, to where I had drugs access to me at my leisure. Okay, because the devil knows how to attack you. So he's going to use the things that he knows to attack you in order to attack you because, excuse me, I'm sorry about that. I'm going to try to be as real as I can be because a lot of people get on here and they fabricate stories. So that's just the first thing I'm going to say. But what happened to me June the 30th, 2017 was I was walking like any other day in my life. And this is the day my life changed. I was walking like any other day in my life. And I don't know, I began to feel the atmosphere around me change. And it didn't change like a normal breeze of wind. It shifted. It was almost like it was altering. And I began to feel like I was by myself. I was in a room full of people, but I felt like I was alone. Okay? And this is when it all hit me. That your life is a test. At the every moment of every second while I was feeling like I was alone, everything that was happening around me started to change. So I was starting to feel funny, like it was an unexplainable funny feeling I had. And my stomach dropped to the ground. I began to feel like I had to vomit, urinate, defecate on myself, the whole nine. I'm gonna be honest, because it was a weird feeling. Like it was a scary feeling. It was a feeling that I've never felt in my life. And I've been shot. I've been through a lot of stuff in my life. But this feeling was different than any feeling I've ever experienced in my life. As I began to feel these feelings, I began to try to twist my neck back and forth. All right. I even then tried to push my jaw forward, from the back of my ear forward. Like I was just trying to like rip my own self apart, basically. And what I began to realize was that is the beginning torments to hell. Okay, so I began to run, and I'm going to say that I stopped believing in the Most High's words and in the Most High's Son. I stopped believing in the Son of God. And okay, as I began to run, because I at that moment I still wasn't a believer. I was knee deep into the lifestyle that I was living. Okay, I felt my flesh ripping off of my body like there were thorns and thistles in the ground. And I began to feel my flesh like separate, and the atmosphere of the earth began to change. So at that moment, I began to remember everything that I was ever taught as a child about Yeshua, about the Most High, and immediately it started coming out naturally to where I felt relieved. I began to look at the ground as it was changing, and I saw smoke rising from off the ground. And I believe I was able to catch myself before I went any further. God even went as far as to take my sight temporarily. At the time I was blinded. And I remember being blinded, and I remember walking where I was walking. I remember God saying, well, you walk by faith, not by sight. And I kept walking, and I just kept my eyes closed, because at that moment I began to feel the fire, the flames. I began to feel the torment beginning. And all while I held on to the Father and the Son, I began to feel relieved. And I went to look up to where I was chasing, because I was chasing after a light. When I looked up, I saw the Son of God in the clouds with his hands open, like he was receiving me. But I wasn't received. It was almost as if to say he was showing me to fulfill the work. Because at that time I was yelling to the top of my lungs, God, just save me. I will tell anybody I got to tell. I will go to all four corners of the earth and tell as many people as I could tell. Just please don't let me stay here. So as I was doing that, God spared me. And when I was spared, like the whole thing about everything that happened to me was just, it was traumatic, it was amazing, and it was everything at the same time. It's almost to say everything in your life is a test. It is a test to see how much you pay attention to the Creator. It is a test between yourself, how much you love yourself. Who do you love more, yourself or the Creator? Everything is a test in your life. And the thing about it is, the devil gets us so sidetracked with sin that we lose sight of the cause and the reason that we're actually here. We are only here to inhabit this what is supposed to be the kingdom of heaven on earth. If you're a believer, we're supposed to be inhabiting this, but we're not, because we're all lost and sidetracked with music, with television, with drugs, with alcohol, with money, with women, with whatever it may be that the devil attempts to detour you with. But there is a higher level of consciousness that you can tap into, that I'm tapping into, to where you just spread the word of God. Because upon everything that happened to me, God also told me, you have been baptized with the fire. Now go preach the word. So me going to hell was only a testimony to tell everybody to get themselves right with God. If you don't hear nothing else I say, if you know who I am, anybody who knows me, knows how I am, knows who I am, and knows everything about me and what I've done or whatever. But that doesn't mean shit. What my job is to do now is to save souls, as many of them as I can save. Because I know the torment that awaits those who aren't on their job, who aren't standing their post. So I would like everybody to pray for me, and I'm going to pray for all of you. God bless you.